Hi, I'm Brad Dexter. I'm a physical therapist at QLI here in Omaha, Nebraska, and this is Abe. Abe is going to help us learn how to do a floor transfer today. So Abe has been working on this for a little while, and we're going to break it up into a couple different steps and kind of teach how he's been learning to do this. Obviously, whenever a person with a spinal cord injury like Abe ends up on the floor, we don't conveniently have a mat sitting next to us to get back up on. So ultimately we want this to transition to him being able to get into his bed at home or maybe up onto an ottoman, perhaps up onto a couch if you can pull the cushions off of the couch. So we'll start teaching a couple different scenarios as he gets the sequencing and the technique down. But today we're going to work through the couple steps that he needs to have in order to ultimately be able to do those things on his own. Just to give you a little bit of information on Abe, he was a C6 level spinal cord injury. He's made some progress, has regained some strength in his triceps. So I'll show you what he has. Abe, if I stabilize you here, can you lift your left arm up above your head, straighten out your elbow? Good, and we'll switch sides. So left side is a little stronger than the right side. Good, and back down. So we'll keep that in mind as we're going through this technique. We're going to assume that Abe has been able to go from lying down, say he ended up on his stomach or on his back, and he's gotten up into this long sitting position from here. So this is kind of phase one, going from lying on the back, getting into this long sitting position, and then getting to a tall kneeling position at the edge of the surface that you're transitioning to. So Abe, let's go ahead, let's try to move into a tall kneeling position. Abe's going to work on getting his knees bent and his feet underneath of him a little bit more. A couple things to watch for as a support person or as the individual doing this. You don't want to get your knees tucked too far under the surface that you're going to. That can be a problem more if you're going to a bed that's raised a little bit. If it's a couch, it's actually a little more convenient because it blocks your knees from doing that. If it's an ottoman, same thing. I'm just going to help him sequence through that. Okay, here's just another spot where he needs some support. So I'm going to assist at his hips. I'm going to help kind of lift up so he can get up into this tall kneeling position. Abe, do you want to give me a count?
1, 2, 3.
Good. All right, so at this point, Abe's knees are in a good spot. You can see they're not tucked too far under. This is kind of phase two. So phase two, from a tall kneeling position, Abe's job now is to try to get his hips up over the edge of the mat, the couch, the ottoman, the bed, whatever it might be. You saw that he has some triceps, so he's able to maybe get up into this position here. If he can't get into this position, we're going to look at, can he straighten out that left elbow? If he can straighten out the left elbow, he might be able to lift his hips up just enough to get him over the edge of the mat. And if that doesn't work, I might resort to him just even pulling himself forward with his elbows. Now, one of the tricky parts about this transfer is the femurs tend to act like an anchor on the edge of the bed or, again, couch, mat, whatever it might be. And so if you're able to trigger a spasm to straighten out your leg a little bit more, it makes it easier to get the hips up onto the surface that we're transferring to. So, Abe, let's go ahead and let's try to work through what you've been doing, okay? So you can even see Abe's pushing through his left arm. Femurs are running into edge of the mat a little bit more. What I'm going to do from a therapy side of things, just to make this a little bit easier, and part of the progression, I'm going to straighten his legs out for him. And then Abe, I'm going to ask you to try to push through the arms. And you can see now that he feels that, we can kind of rep through that transfer until he gets it. Now he can go into a lying down position here, or he could flip himself over and he could get into a sitting on the edge of the mat position. Let him go ahead and finish this out. Nice work.
Shucks.
Good job.